Hey y'all, Coach Christy here. I really hope you guys can hear me because it be static and stuff going on through my phone. But anywho, I wanted to come on here to just give you guys an update. I know the last video that I did strictly for YouTube was about 4 months ago, and I had did a live almost a month ago, about 3 weeks ago on TikTok, and I had re-uploaded that live to YouTube. So if you was one of the few who have watched that live, you seen that I was very excited. I had got back on the wagon of this health journey, this weight loss journey, and I was trying to really figure out things that worked with me when it comes to me being a foodie, when it comes to me loving taste, when it comes to the convenience and me being a busy mom of 4 and a dog, like all the things, right? And so I was really amped. I was really in the swing of things. I don't think that I was weighing myself. I had lost a little bit of weight. It was definitely slow, but I was losing weight. I was happy. I was, like I said, back on it, constantly being determined. Like, the thing is, when you're on a health journey, especially a weight loss journey, it takes a level of determination to keep on putting forth effort even when it feels like that everything is going against you, right? So I was doing great for probably, I would say, maybe about 3 weeks. Within that 3-week time, I am in therapy. So I'm in therapy. I see a psychiatrist, like all the things, right, for my mental health. During that time, we were doing different adjustments with medications because, like, my fatigue, you guys, had got so bad where I could just no longer get out of bed. I could no longer take walks. I could no longer watch TV. I could no longer do anything. Like, the medicine they had me on, my body is just so sensitive that it had really affected my quality of life. And so the doctor did choose, me and the doctor decided to take me off of the dosage. Well, when I got off of the dosage, all the anxiety things came back, right? All the whole lot of food noise, all the anxiousness, all the stalking the refrigerator, stalking the kitchen, like all of that stuff came back. It came back in full force. The thing that I loved about being on my anxiety medication was I was able to hear myself. I wasn't hearing all the thoughts of other people. What do this person think? What do that person think? Like, I wasn't constantly thinking about that stuff. I was able to really be in the present. And that was something that I had not experienced for a long time. Sorry, you guys, my kids are out front. They're ringing the doorbell. I see them. They're not coming in. I'm filming this video, so they're going to have to wait. Hold on. I don't know what I was saying. I'm back. But I hadn't, even with doctors suggesting that I get on some type of anxiety medication, I had been putting it off for years. When I say years, it's been probably close to 20 years since I've been on any type of anxiety medications, right? I'm just like, I just hate having to go through just all the side effects and all the dosages and all the things that comes along with it. And I just want to try to do this. I had a discussion with myself and I was like, why do I constantly feel like I got a white knuckle stuff? Like, why do I constantly feel like getting the help that is needed for me is like a failure to myself? I suffer from depression. I suffer from, anxiety. I suffer from these things. And when these things are interfering in a way that I can no longer manage anymore, then it's okay to get intervention. It's okay to get that intervention. And so during some months' time, I finally found a psychiatrist. I've been working with my therapist for almost 2 years now. And so, for one, therapist can't prescribe medication. So she didn't prescribe the medication. But after 2 years of no medication, no anything, just with tools, coping skills, growth, all of those things. Even she agreed that medication would be something that would help as an aid into already what I'm doing. And will kind of just calm my body down some instead of being so hyper vigilant, so on alert, and so like doomsday when things like I'm my worst critic. I'm my worst critic, you guys. So got on the medication, and for the first time in a long time, I was just able to hear myself. When I grabbed a outfit, I didn't think like, who do you think you are? Oh, that's not even cute. Why are you wearing that? Like, all those critics that I constantly have heard growing up and constantly have heard like my whole life, those are things that constantly stay with me. Like, so when I'm just doing the smallest things of just enjoying myself, I'll hear something that somebody else said that was demeaning to me, and for the first time when I was on my medication, I didn't have to combat that. I heard my own self, and I did not care for the first time about people's opinions or having to really combat those opinions. Even though I really don't care now, like, you still have to put forth an effort to combat people's opinions. You still have to say, I don't care. Well, the medicine was like an easy mode button. I didn't even have to like make that decision of not caring. It was just something that was just automatic. And I'm like, wow, is this how normal people who don't deal with anxiety and depression, like, is this how they move forward in life? It was literally just such a big like weight off of my shoulders. I felt so relieved. I felt so happy. I feel like I'm about to cry now. So happy about the decision that I had made to get on medication. Once it started getting in my system more, you guys, I already suffer from fatigue just with all my different autoimmune disorders, and my fatigues had got really, really bad. Like I said, to the point where I could just not even watch TV. I could not get out of bed. I was literally bedridden, it felt like. And so I had got on another medication to try to help give me a little boost of energy. I had a complete allergic reaction, like hives all down my back, all down my arms, all down my neck, face hived up, the works, right? Just feeling horrible. I already have eczema and deal with my own skin battles, and so anything that inflames my skin or makes my skin go through a relapse is automatically triggering to me. Because that comes with its own set of trauma. So, of course, I had to get off of that medication, and I decided to get off of all the medication. Well, when I got off all the medication, I would say that the anxiety medication still stayed in my system for probably about a week. Around that second week, it was, I would say, out of my system, and it was literally like a hurricane of thoughts. It went from a smooth, peaceful, you could see here to the horizon of the ocean. That's how I felt on the medication. To like that week ended, and it literally felt like the waves and the hurricane, and that's how my brain had felt, with just all of these thoughts like flooding me, right? And it was so devastating because now anxiety comes along with all, my food, bad food habits that I have. So now I'm stocking the refrigerator. I'm trying to eat to cope. I'm door dashing like crazy, you guys. Like, 1 month I had to spend close to $1,000 on DoorDash. So I'm door dashing like crazy. I'm like carbon. I'm doing all the things. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just was on like a smooth sailing. So me and my psychiatrist, my doctor decides to give me on a lower dosage of the anxiety medicine, like lower than what the lowest dosage is, because my body is very sensitive to medication. So it's the lowest dose, and we decided to even cut that in half. So I had to manually cut that in half because they don't even make a dose lower than what I was already on. And I broke out in hives again everywhere. At first, this medicine did not make me break out in hives. It was the upper medication that did. So I don't know why I did, but I did. And of course, I had to get off that medication. I had to talk to my dermatologist. She told me to also talk to my allergist to see if there's any medication test that can be done. I already have had a chemical testing. I've had food testing. I've had a lot of different testing. I have a lot of different allergies, you guys. So, you know, my case, I'm the rare case. And so did all of that. And during this time, my body is just going through it. At this point, I'm back depressed. Because I just was on, you know, back on the bandwagon of this thing, right? And was finding out what works for me. The food was good. I was staying satiated. Like everything was like working until everything wasn't working. And that is just so, it's constantly a punch to the gut when you're trying. Like I am trying. And if you guys have seen any of my things, you know I am trying, and I constantly try, and I constantly encourage you guys to try. So I'm constantly trying. And I ended up in the ER a couple of weeks ago. Didn't know what was going on with me. I thought I was having a stroke. Turns out that it was actually my sciatica had flared up. I haven't had a sciatic flare, and I don't in probably about 10 years. So I didn't even know what it was because it was different from a regular my sciatic flare that I normally have. It was completely different. And they said it was my nerves. They were inflamed, my muscles, all of that stuff was inflamed. So at this point, I'm battling inflammation everywhere. My eyes are at this point like almost were swollen. My skin was completely broken out. Now my sciatica, my nerves have become inflamed. Like the inflammation battle is like driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy, right? So I end up having just a talk with myself, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, I want to lose weight naturally. But if there's a medication out here that can help me, that can really help me, what does it cost just to get some information? Not saying that I'm going to do it, but let me not be so shut off about it. Let me just actually hear what's going on and see what is being said. And so with that, on June 1st, I end up signing up for a telehealth company. I'm not with that. I'm not on anything right now. So I don't want to like sponsor them or anything like that or speak them because I haven't worked with them outside of having my first appointment. So I signed up for my telehealth company, and it was a discount for the first month. And I had my first appointment, I believe it was like June 8th or something like that. June 7th, June 8th. I had my first appointment of 2026. Because June 1st, well, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. So I'm going through it, you know, I'm depressed. I'm going through the whole thing, right? May 30th was my family reunion. And I told myself, I said, May 30th of 2026, this is the heaviest that I will ever be in my life again. And whatever I got to do to feel confident, to feel secure, and to feel whole in my body, and to feel like myself in my body, like I'm going to do it. I had to actually order clothes for the family reunion because none of my clothes fit. At this point, I have gained about 16 pounds. from my stable weight and about 20 pounds from over the last 4 months of me filming the last time. During these 4 months, it's been a lot of up and downs, you guys. So I went on ahead and I said, I'm about to just dress comfortable. I'm a dress that's comfortable for me and that's nice for me. No, it may not be what I want to wear, but like I can't try to squeeze into something that I literally cannot fit. Like I'm a whole neck size up. So that was my declaration that I made to myself on May 30th. June 1st, I went on ahead and made the payments to book my appointments for May 7th. May 7th came around. I had my appointment with the telehealth company, and we had an amazing conversation. And I was so glad that it wasn't salesy. This person wasn't salesy. This person is an actual PCP doctor, is an actual physician, has worked in internal medicine for over 20 years, and was pretty much very straight up with me. Even when it comes to like my body being overreactive, even when it comes to me having allergies, it was literally like it's a 50-50 chance. This medicine could work. This medicine could do worse for you. But we won't know until you get on the medicine. But she did not push the medicine. She said, I need you to talk to all of the doctors that you are under doctor's care of first. And once we get the go ahead from them, then we can move forward. And we actually spoke about microdosing. She said the 2.5 milligrams is usually the standard starting dose for weight loss. It's really not to allow you to lose weight, but it's the starting dose if you are going to lose weight, 2.5. She said that she will not start me on a 2.5. She will start me probably on a 0.1 or a 0.2, barely any medicine. And week by week, we would titrate up until I find a dosage that works and that doesn't give me any side effects or little to no side effects. But she wouldn't want to start my body off at the lowest dose just because my body is already so reactive. So, like I said, it was very relieving. Also, some things that she said in the phone call, was that a GLP-1 is a tool. You already have lost, 40 pounds and have kept 40 pounds off for a whole year. Almost 2 years. You have kept that off in a stable rate, 40 pounds. You have lost more than 40 pounds, but 40 pounds is what you have kept off for a whole year. So with the things that you're already doing, maybe, not a for sure thing, but maybe the GLP-1 can aid in that. It's just a tool. Also, some things that I learned not on that phone call, but outside of that phone call, is that obesity is a disease. It's nationally recognized by the Health Association and all the different associations that it is literally a disease. It's a chronic disease. And it combines with different hormonal imbalances, chronic inflammations, and a lot of different other things, and autoimmune diseases. So it's hard to pinpoint on how to cure something when there's a wide range of basically the body kind of doing whatever it wants to do. There's not one thing that works for one person. As we see, some people go keto, some people go carnivore, some people go low carb, some people go OMAD, some people go ADF, like all of these different things, right? And some people can't do that. Some people, I personally cannot go a day without eating. Like, I will feel horrible. I already suffer from fatigue. So anything that, like where I'm not eating makes me feel horrible, because I also suffer from low blood pressure. So I have to watch that, because I have to make sure that my blood pressure is staying, in the good numbers, because mine goes low which goes to fatigue, dizziness. It can make me pass out, all the things, right? So understanding that this is a disease and that with the disease comes symptoms. And with the disease, I don't know, my phone just clicked off, but with the disease comes symptoms. And a symptom of obesity, the disease, is weight gain, having trouble losing weight. All of these things are symptoms, right? This is not to excuse anything. This is just to really state the facts that we don't know, because we are not taught that obesity is a disease. Just like, you know, diabetes, just like all these other diseases that we have to, you know, say, does these things run in our family because we could be more prone to it. Obesity runs in my family. I have the traits of obesity. And so with that, I am susceptible to having the disease, which I do. I have been doctor labeled obese pretty much all of my life. I don't think that I've never seen where it just says overweight and you need to lose 10 pounds. I've always been in the obese category, obese, morbidly obese. Like, I've always been in that category, right? So, I'll give you guys some more updates because I don't want to make this video too long. But I have been changing a lot of different things in my diet, in the way that I eat. I had my dermatology appointment. They actually had prescribed me prednisone, which helped a lot with my inflammation. Prednisone, of course, is not something that you can be on long term. It's something very short term, but it was able to help my body calm down. So while my body is calming down, I've been really cleaning up my eating. I've been really being honest with myself when it comes to my lifestyle, when it comes to the convenience I need in my life, when it comes to the foods and things that I do like to eat and the carb amount that I do like to have. Like, all of these things, I've been coming up with a realistic strategy for my life. And right now, I'll just give y'all a hint, is I'm no longer drinking protein shakes. If you can drink protein shakes, then they're a great aid. But as for me, I think some of the hidden maybe ingredients that are not being showed, or the processing, or the sugars, or the sugar alcohols, or whatever that's added into that, my body just does not tolerate it. And so it makes it become inflamed even more. And so with that, protein now focused for me is actual protein. I eat actual meats. I eat actual cottage cheese. I eat actual cheese. I eat the actual food for the protein. But I am so focused on fiber maxing right now, you guys. I'm going to do a whole nother video when it comes to fiber maxing, but I'm so focused on fiber maxing. I have lost 5 pounds so far in 2 weeks. Today is June 16th, and so every week since June 1st, I have lost 2.5 pounds consistently. And this is still eating a snack, but it's a mindful snack. And when it comes to a weight loss journey, what I definitely realize and know with being on this journey, now I'm into my 3rd year of this journey, and, you know, teaching and coaching and all of those different things, is when people say it's a lifestyle change, it's so vague. It's just as vague as when people say eat less, move more, eat better, move more. It's just as vague as that. Like, that means absolutely nothing. Somebody saying it's a lifestyle change or make a lifestyle change means absolutely nothing. I did make a lifestyle change, and my lifestyle change got me to be able to sustain a 40-pound weight loss. The different things that I ate 40 pounds heavier, I just don't consume anymore. It's not that I can't consume them, I just don't consume them. They don't have the same taste. I found items better. I experimented. I spent a lot of money on groceries, a lot of money on DoorDash, a lot of money on restaurants, to now I know what foods I like and what foods I don't like. I know what restaurants I like and what restaurants I don't like. I know what different things have to offer and what they don't. I know what aisle to, get and what not to get. I know how to make meals now, and I don't have to have cornbread, biscuits, roll, or something with every single meal. When I was 40 pounds, 60 pounds heavier, no way. Every single meal that I had was like with a biscuit, a pancake, a waffle, a muffin, garlic bread, every single meal, you guys. Like, I just I'm a person who just don't eat like that. And that was the lifestyle change. And so now I'm figuring out, okay, now what is my new lifestyle change? Because I really don't want to be a person who drinks protein shakes for the rest of their life. I need to be a person who understands protein. I need to be a person who understands the proteins that hit and the proteins that don't. And I need to understand fiber. And I need to understand the fiber that works for me and the fiber that doesn't work for me. So now this new phase that I'm in is starting to understand that the prednisone is helping me at this point. And so that's why the GLP-1, I have an appointment next month. But I still may just still be in the information phase. It's not anything that I'm going to just grab and hurry up and do, because I'm really trying to see, is it something that I was eating? Is it environmental? Is it something I was putting on my skin? Is it something like all of these things that is factoring into inflammation? I also know that I gain weight. When I gain weight, I gain visceral fat. Like, my visceral fat comes back in full force. Visceral fat is a living organism. Visceral fat is not like subcutaneous fat. You guys can look up more and read more about visceral fat, but visceral fat is its own hormonal system. So with that, it's going to send different antibodies to my bodies, to my nerves, to my muscles, to my skin, to my everything, to combat. Also, a part of losing visceral fat is a sign of you losing visceral fat is skin flare-ups, because the body is getting rid of all the toxins. Once you bust in the balloon of the visceral fat, now everything that was in the visceral fat is going to start coming out. It's going to start seeping out, peeing out, coming through your skin, pooping out. Like, it's going to breathe it out. It's going to start coming out. And so I'll let my dog in. But visceral fat. So I'm learning more about that. And I'm just learning more about my body, you guys. If you have any questions down below, or you have any statements, suggestions, words, personal stories about this, definitely leave it down below. Because I love to read. You guys know I always comment back. And let me know if you still drink protein shakes. Is it something if you stop drinking? Like, even all the protein marketing items I have cut out of my diet. If I want a snack, I have a snack. Even like, I don't even do the sugar-free, the zero sugar, you guys. Like, and I'm a zero sugar girl. If you just watched my what I eat in a day, like, you see how many products I grabbed that was zero sugar. That's like, writing down your food or videotaping your food, even if you're not a content creator, is such a game changer. Because I was able to see what I really ate for like 2 weeks straight, and what was the calm before the storm. And even though I was losing weight, my body was gaining inflammation until, boom, I'm in the hospital. And it's just one thing after another, right? And when I go to what I was eating, it was healthy, but it was a lot of the protein shakes, a lot of the zero sugar products, a lot of the, at this point, it's just about grabbing the sugar item, and eating it, or finding something better, finding something that is just naturally sweetened with dates or whatever the case is, and having that be the new norm. So that's what I'm working on now. Is, yes, my grocery bill may go up, it may go down, I don't know. But it's not about that. It's about me being the person who just don't eat those certain things. And it's not saying that I can't eat them or that I would never have them. It's just saying that when I go grocery shopping, I want to have a set grocery list. That these are the things that I buy. And these are the things that I constantly re-up on. I want to get to a point where I may try a new sauce that I see or something like that. But for the most part, I can press reorder on Walmart delivery. I can press order again on Whole Foods when I'm on Amazon. I can press those buttons and it's gonna put the same groceries in my cart, and I'm gonna get the same things every single month and the same staples. And with those staples, I can make different meals and stuff, but it's the same staples. That's what I'm working on. And it feels good to no longer worry about being marketed to. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. You guys let me know if this video brought you any value. If so, and you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below so I can talk back. Until next time, you guys, I love y'all. Bye.